and thank you so much for joining me for the No event. No, not over. The world is not going to end because you decide to say no. It is perfectly all right to say no. No, not over. Too many times we think that something is going to end or be over because we say no. Maybe the relationship will be over, maybe the job will be over, or the friendship will be over. We'll miss something or lose out on something, and that is simply not true. Anything that you lose because you needed to say no was something that you never really had anyway. No, not over. It is okay to say no. Well, I guess you say it's pretty easy for me to sit here and tell you to just say no. But how do you say no? Well, I'm one of those people who likes to break things down into 3 simple steps. That's right, 3 simple steps to say no. The first step is know what you want. What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What lifestyle do you want to maintain? Those are critical questions that you have to know the answer to. Once you know the answer to those questions, then you know what you don't want, and that brings you one step closer to being able to say no. So the first step is to know what you want. The second step is to plan. You've got to have a plan. What are the steps necessary to achieve what you want? What do you have to do? When you have a plan and a schedule and you know what needs to be done, then it is easier for you to decline things that don't fit into your plan to accomplish your goals for the things that you want to achieve in your life. The third step, which I think is the most critical step, is to prioritize. Now, some of you are not going to agree with me on this one, but you have to put what you want at the top of your priority list. And I know you may say, well, that sounds selfish. It is not selfish, because when you don't put yourself at the top of the priority list, then you're not being genuine. And it's not until you're being genuine that you are able to attract people who are like-minded, who can genuinely connect with you, and then you can be together. As long as you just keep saying yes and you put other people's needs above your own needs, you're never going to reach that level of genuineness that you need to establish solid relationships where you can be able to sharpen each other. I'll give you an example, even with your children. I remember when my daughter Venice, when she was an infant, I just had a baby, and I was just trying to get back into the groove of working and dropping her off at daycare. And one day I had a big meeting or something, so I got my hair done and I had my makeup on, and I dropped Venice off at daycare. And the lady at the daycare center, she stopped me and she said, "Oh my God, you look beautiful." And I went, "Oh, thank you." She made me feel good, and she said, "So why do you bring that baby in here looking like a princess every day? And you look like a hag?" And my first reaction was, how is this lady going to just tell me I look like a hag? She doesn't know me like that. But when I thought about it, she was right. And she said to me, "I need you to get up every morning, get yourself together, and I need you to look like that every day." And she's right, because children may not always do what you say, but they are going to do what you do. If you set the example of not taking care of yourself, and not valuing and not valuing and respecting yourself, then how are they going to learn to care for you and value and respect you? So it is critical. Number 3, prioritize. You have to put what you want, your goals, what you want to accomplish, your lifestyle, that needs to be at the top of your list. Those are my 3 steps, 3 simple steps to saying no. Number 1, know what you want. Number 2, make a plan. And number 3, make it a priority. No, not over. So why is it so important to be able to say no? The answer to the question why always goes directly back to purpose. We were all created for a specific purpose. There's something that we are supposed to do. There's something that we're supposed to contribute. There is a mark, a target that we have to hit. We cannot afford to go through our entire life and not hit that mark. And that's why we have to be able to say no, because there's simply not enough time in a lifetime to accommodate everything and everybody that comes along. When over the Christmas holiday, I had an opportunity to go to the Steve Harvey show, and he said something. He said that I made more money when I started to say no than I did when I always said yes. Because when you say yes, to everything that comes along, you wear yourself out. You're running here, you're running there, you're all over the place, you're not focused. So when your opportunity or your chance of a lifetime comes along, you're drained, you're burnt out, and you simply can't deliver because you've expended all of your energy and all of your brain power doing something that was not on purpose. You have to maximize your time. Our days here on earth are numbered. So we have to make every minute count. You cannot afford to let anyone waste your time. I always say that the only thing worse than someone wasting your time is the fact that you allowed them to do so. You have to be able to say no. Employ the 3 steps that I just gave you to say no because you don't have time to not say no. There has to be a set goal, a set mark that every morning you wake up, you need to be moving closer to that mark. Not saying no is like taking 2 steps forward, taking 2 steps back. You end up in the spin cycle, round and round and round, and you never get anywhere, and you end up all washed up. That's why it's so important to say no. Does that mean that you don't do anything that you don't want to do just because you're living on purpose? No. I have an uncle who has a PhD, he has a doctorate in education, and he's traveled around the world, world-renowned speaker, and he has impacted so many lives. But on that road to get there, he had to go to school, leave school, go to a job at a grocery store, then come home and study all night long just to get those degrees. And the degrees is what helped him be where he is now as one of the most respected educational minds in the world. So yes, you will have to do things that you don't want to do along the way, but you need to find a way to look at it before you say yes and make sure that it is on path with your purpose. And if it is not, you have to say no. In life, we always have to make decisions. We come across a lot of people and we have to decide who to say yes to and who to say no to. And sometimes that can be really difficult because you simply don't know. It'd be great if we had a crystal ball and could look into the future and see who was going to do what, or if we could read minds and see what someone's intentions are. But we can't. So we have to rely on our instinct and wisdom to make those decisions. And what I've done, again, is come up with 3 categories of people that you may encounter in your life, and whether we should say no to them and whether we should say yes to them. First person that I want to talk about is the Me Too person. No plan, all over the place. They just want what they see. This is that person that'll call you up and say, "Oh, I like the way you did that. Can you do one for me too?" No. Never respond to a person who wants something just because they see you or someone else with it. They will not appreciate it. Just say no. The second type of person that I want to talk about is the just for me person. This is that person that you only hear from them when they need something. When you see them in the caller ID, or when the email comes from them, or an inbox or text or whatever, you already know that is going to be a request. Everything is about them. Everything is for them. You have to just say no. And sometimes we care and we want to be there and we want to help, and they'll call, and I know sometimes I'll get a call and I'll say, well, maybe this time is different, and they'll tell me, well, hey Val, how are you? I was just thinking about you. I missed you. But then they always manage to get around to what they really called for, which is to ask me for something. And you have to be tough and you have to say no, because to these people, you are only a resource. They are never going to contribute anything to the relationship. You cannot do enough for these people. They cannot be satisfied. So you need to cut them off and just say no. The third type of person is my favorite type of person. This is the me and you person. These people are interested in you. They care about you. They love you. And they will even invest in you. These are the people that you have relationships relationships with, and that you're there for each other. You build on each other's strength. You can depend on each other. However, there are times in your life when you will even have to tell them no, simply because you cannot accommodate them at that time. And when I was at Oprah's life class and she made this statement, she said that people who truly care for you will understand your need to say no. The me and you person, when you tell them no, not only will they understand, but sometimes they'll step in. They'll undergird you. They'll support you. They'll help you get through the time that may be overwhelming you or that might be too much for you. So you have to be able to say no. It's okay. They love you. They care about you, and they will be there for you. Saying no will not destroy that relationship. That's the me and you person. And it's really, really important to say no to those people when you need to, because the worst thing that you can do is say yes and then let them down. Now, when you let somebody down and that was depending on you, that can destroy relationships. So just say no and be honest and upfront with the people that care about you, and your relationships will be stronger, and you'll be able to get through everything together, because these are people, it's me and you. They want to share with you. They care about you. And these are the relationships that you want to nurture. And these are the people that you want to keep in your life. But again, there comes a time when you will need to say no. And the me and you person will understand, and they'll be there. We have to be able to say no, because life is short. And we cannot afford to expend the physical, mental, and emotional energy that it requires to say yes to everything that comes along, whether it's good for us or bad for us. We have to be able to say no. Saying no frees up time and space for us to pursue our purpose and do the things that we really should be doing, and not miss out on any of the wonderful things that life has to offer. Saying no, N-O, not over. In fact, it's just the beginning of the best days of your life, where you start to leave nothing to chance, but live life by design.